Here is the recently released truly limited SBGA509 from Grand Seiko's Heritage Collection. This is a USA limited release, and Grand Seiko has only made 300 of this color. So as far as limited editions go, this one is actually pretty limited or pretty small by Grand Seiko standards. Now, this dial is eye-catching. It's certainly noticeable. I would consider it a muted shade of fuchsia, and it is inspired by, quote, the sunrise over Lake Suwa with its dusty rose hue, close quote. Now, I know that environmental inspiration is common with this brand, but I don't think many watch collectors really buy into the flowery wording. Speaking for myself, I like reading them, but not because I care about the color of a sunrise over a lake, but more so it's just amusing to read description after description, year after year. How long can this last? I think it could last indefinitely, and I am here for that. Now, thank you to Exquisite Timepieces who made this video possible. Through this family-owned AD, I have access to film some truly amazing watches, including this recently released limited edition. So if you are shopping Seiko, Grand Seiko, Omega, or any of the 60 brands that they carry, do me a favor and reach out to Exquisite. Now, let's take a look at this color. How does it appear in person versus the video? How does the color change? How does it interact with the texture? Well, really, it's unlike any other color that I've seen on a watch. It's not salmon. It's close to salmon, but it has a pinker vibrance to it. But it's also not what I would consider a vibrant pink. It's more muted. I described it earlier as muted fuchsia. In some light angles, the pink really comes out. It's bright, it's eye-catching, but in other light angles, the color becomes darker and less saturated. So I can confidently say that this dial is unlike any other that I've seen before. It's unique. The texture adds another component, another layer to the viewer experience. So take a look at the subtle lines that predominantly run horizontally and vertically. This is different from a frost dial. This is different from a snowflake or a birch. And once again, I think Grand Seiko flexes their prowess, at dial work at the sub $6,000 price. This watch, as shown, retails for $5,600. Now, all of that said, I also noticed the details on the hands and the markers are not up to Grand Seiko's usual standard of perfection. The lines on the top of each marker are not as crisp as what I've seen from them in the past. The polishing isn't perfect. And there's even a few marks here and there. So this is the second example that I've seen recently with less than perfect execution on the hands and the markers. And I don't know if Grand Seiko is changing how they make these components, if they're training new staff, if they're cutting costs. Are they producing too many watches? Is it a mix of multiple aspects? Or maybe I've just had the unfortunate luck of seeing two poor examples in a short amount of time. That is also possible. It's just not up to their standard. I will say though, if this QC is a new normal, I think they're going to lose customers. Watch enthusiasts, watch collectors, they love Grand Seiko in part because of the dial perfection, the art that's displayed there under the macro lens. It's something that's different. It's notably better than competing brands from other countries. That attention to detail and the high-level finishing, the original designs, the excellent movement options, if one of those aspects starts to slide, I think that's a big deal, and I think that it will impact the brand's bottom line. But tell me your opinion in the comments below. Now let's zoom out and take a look at the rest of the watch. This is the 44GS case design, the 44GS. It's a modern homage to Grand Seiko's 1967 case design that featured sharp, polished lug angles and a good mix of brushed and polished surfaces. This modern 44GS reminds me of a faceted gemstone. The light play is so good. I think this is distinctive looking. I think it's comfortable. This SBGA509 is only 40 millimeters in diameter and 12.5 in total height. So this sits well on the wrist and easily slides under a dress shirt or a sport coat. Now, I think the reason why it wears so well is in parts because of the short 46.2 millimeter lug tip to lug tip dimension. So it's not long, it's not unwieldy, it's a very well proportioned design that should work on almost any wrist size. Now inside this 44GS case is a spring drive caliber called the 9R65. It's a movement that Grand Seiko has made for many years, and it has a great track record of accuracy and reliability. It's visible behind an exhibition style caseback, and I don't think it's Grand Seiko's prettiest or best finished movement, but I do think it's a solid one. It's a good choice for use as a daily driver. So expect 3 days of power reserve, which has an indicator on the dial side, and expect plus or minus 15 seconds per month accuracy deviation. Though in my own experience and then talking with other owners of this caliber, you can expect a little bit better than that plus or minus 15 seconds on a monthly basis. In closing, who is this watch for? This is for the watch enthusiast or the watch collector who wants something unique, something limited, something loud, something eye-catching, and something that won't break the bank, at least by Grand Seiko's standards. I don't personally consider this a daily wear color. You certainly could if you wanted to, but it's a fairly loud tone. It's a fairly eye-catching color. So for me, this is an accent watch. It's meant to be used on occasion to enhance and bring vibrance and fun to a watch rotation. Would I wear it? Absolutely. Now that said, if you appreciated this video, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Those two small things make a huge difference to how visible my channel is and how I'm recommended to new viewers. So if you could support me by doing that, I really appreciate it, and I promise to keep the content coming. If you are looking for a great Grand Seiko AD, I recommend exquisite timepieces. My own sales associate is Joe, and I've linked his contact information below. Feel free to tell him that Bruce sent you.